Welcome to How to Budget 101. For this video demonstration, I'm going to be showing you how to create a zero-based budget using EveryDollar. A zero-based budget is simply taking your income minus all your expenses, and it should equal to zero so that every dollar coming in the door has an assignment to do. Now, EveryDollar is one of many tools that are available to you. You can use a different budgeting app, you can use an Excel spreadsheet, or you can use the old-fashioned pencil and paper. The process of budgeting is the same regardless of which tool you use. So for this video demonstration, we're going to look at a fictitious couple named Jane and John, who happen to both make the same amount of money, and their net income after taxes is $7,000. And they're budgeting for February. So the first line item on their budget is giving, and they do a 10% tithe to the church, and there's also a charity that they like to periodically support, and so they're going to be sending them $40. The next section in their budget is savings. They've already accomplished baby step number 1 and have saved a starter emergency fund of $1,500. They know that they have a car coming up on its 100,000 mile milestone and that they know they need some maintenance to take care of for that according to the manual. So they've talked with their mechanic and they know that they need about $500. So they've added this item into their budget. They plan on putting $200 towards this expense this month. And what they're going to do to help track how much they're saving each month, they're going to make this a fund. This is a feature in EveryDollar. When you click on the item on the right column, you can click Make This a Fund. You can scroll down and also put in the savings goal. So it lets you know when you've accomplished and reached that goal. Don't forget to actually transfer the money into your savings account for the funds so that what you have in your bank actually matches the budget. The next section in their budget is housing expenses. I've already gone through and listed what they have for all of their recurring expenses. Some of these may vary from month to month. For example, electricity. It was $200 in January. They're expecting it to be a little bit lower in February, but they're just going to budget for $200 because it's always better to end up needing less than needing more and struggling to find it. A great function that exists in EveryDollar is due dates. So for bills like this, they can go into their mortgage, click on the category, and they can set a due date. They like to pay the bill a couple days before it's due on the 1st of the month, so they're going to schedule it for the 26th to come out of their bank account automatically. So they're just going to set this in here to remind themselves that's when the deduction is happening in their checking account. Other categories may not have money allocated for them each month. For instance, repairs and maintenance can mean different things in different seasons. For this month, they're planning on having $30 set aside for pest control spray that they want to purchase. So they can go in here and make a note that that is what they agreed upon for the $30 for that line item this month. The next section in their budget is transportation. Based on their previous activities and behaviors with travel and how little they have to travel to work, $125 to fuel both of their cars for the month is enough. They also know that they have some friends visiting in the month of February and they plan on taking them downtown, so they're going to budget $20 for parking garage fees. The food category is next. For a family of 4, they feel comfortable with $550 because they have some dietary restrictions and need to spend a little bit more on foods that one member of their family can eat. They've made a lot of cutbacks to get to this level, so they're comfortable being here. The next section is personal. Now this is going to look different for every household, but for Jane and John, they have a couple of things that's unique to them. They have one child in daycare, so they've allocated for that. They cut back on cable, and they only have Netflix and Hulu, so they budget $19 for that. They plan on taking a no-cost date night, but they need to pay the babysitter, so they have $65 for that. Spring clothing is coming up, and they know the kids are going to need some things because they seem to be growing like weeds, so they have $100 planned for that. Toiletries, this can be a large category. This can encompass everything from face wash to toothpaste to shampoo. They don't think they need full $50 for the month, but they're going to put it in there just in case. Looking at their calendar, they know that there's a baby shower coming up, so they're going to budget $50 for a gift. And with Easter around the corner, they have a holiday line item. This is not something that they fund every month, but this month they're setting aside $30 for the kids' Easter baskets, and they've already made a notation in their budget for that. Jane and John are on baby step number 2. That means they've already established an emergency fund and they are focused on paying off all of their debt as fast as they can. But this doesn't mean that they have to be miserable and they can't have a little fun. So they've allocated $40 of fund money to both of them. This is money that they withdraw from their bank account, put it in an envelope or their wallet, and they spend as they wish. Jane is an avid reader and loves to be able to just purchase a new book when she's ready. And John likes to dabble with wood crafting, so he knows that he might need some supplies here and then, so that's why he would like to have some funny money for that purpose. This money is automatically deducted. They don't track any expenses to this category. They've made a lot of cutbacks in extracurricular activities for their children, but swim lessons is one that they feel very strongly about, so they're going to budget $95 for private swim lessons. The next category in their budget is non-health savings account health expenses. They do have an HSA attached to their health insurance, but things that aren't covered by the HSA, they pay for out of pocket. For instance, vitamins, which they've budgeted $50 for the month. The next section in their budget is insurance. They do have an escrow account attached to their mortgage, so they don't have to worry about things like real estate taxes and homeowners insurance. However, they do pay out of pocket each month for auto insurance, and they do have identity theft protection. Jane has disability insurance through her employer, but John does not. He has a premium that's due each September, and he knows that the bill is $500. So they have gone in and they have started a fund for his insurance premium, and they're planning on setting aside $100 this month towards that $500 bill. The last item in their budget is debt. They've already listed all of their debts, smallest to largest, and the minimum payments that are due. Now, what they have planned for is to pay off as much as they can as fast as they can. So they plan on taking this extra money that's up here in the left corner and applying it towards their first debt. But before they do that, they have a conversation and they look at their calendar and they wonder, is there anything that's coming up that maybe we're not accounting for? Jane feels like there might be something. So they're going to go in and they're going to go up to their personal category and they're going to add in a new line item called miscellaneous. And they're just going to put $50 in here just in case something comes up that they've overlooked. Now they're going to go back down to the debt and they are going to clear out this first amount. And the great thing about an EveryDollar app, or any budgeting tool for that matter, tracks the money for you. And so we have $701 left to budget, so that's exactly what they're going to apply to the first debt. This is above and beyond their minimum payment. So they are well on their way to paying off credit card number 1 by the end of March. Now, all of this planning and preparation for budgeting is great, but it's not helpful if we're not actually tracking it. So, a couple of things that they need to take care of. When the month begins, as they start to make expenses, they need to go in here and actually track, at least on a weekly basis, how much money they have spent on something. So let's say John fills up his gas tank on March 1st. So he's going to go in here, he's going to add a new transaction, February 1st. And we're going to say he spent $45 filling up his tank. Track the expense. EveryDollar automatically does the calculation for you and shows that there's $80 remaining for this line item. This is a very high-level overview of how to budget. There are different scenarios that come up. Each month is different, and so it's very important to keep track of some of those nuances and really pay attention to your calendar. And be really clear about priorities, because sometimes there might be an income problem. Sometimes there might be too many bills and there's just not enough money to go around. And so it's really important to keep the lines of communication open and be really clear about what it is you're trying to accomplish each month to help you make decisions about how to organize your money week to week within each month.